There's only one thing that can satisfy, and that is God. College student David Hammershoy discovered purpose and fulfillment after enrolling at Dream City College.
I'm David Hammershoy. I'm a college student at Dream City College. Just talking about why I'm here. Before I came to college, I was working 2 secular jobs. I was working at Hollister, if you ever heard of that brand, and then Call It Spring. And I was just working in sales, talking with people day in, day out. And it was fun talking to people, but I just didn't feel like filled, like I was making a difference, like I was changing anything. And so that's why I talked to Josh Mills, the director of Dream City College, and then he told me to come out, and I totally feel fulfilled here and like I'm making a difference in what I'm doing. I'm in the youth ministry, so I'm talking to all these kids. I'm showing them what I wish I would have had in high school, showing them the right way instead of the wrong way. I'm out here in Colorado City doing a mission trip right now. It's awesome showing all these people out here who've never heard about God, and then they have kind of mixed views about God, like the correct way, the correct view. So this is just where God's brought me to. I'm really happy here. I feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm now making a difference, and I don't feel like going anywhere else. This is where I'm at.
Well, today's guest is David Hammershoy. He is currently enrolled at Dream City College, and I'm so excited to have him here to share his testimony today. Thanks for being here, David.
Thank you for having me. I'm super honored.
Well, you have a transformative story, and I'm so excited to hear it. And I think it's a story of a lot of kids who were very sheltered and went out in the world and kind of found the way of the world and then went back to ministry. So I'm excited to hear the details of your story. So, David, let's start off. What was it like in your childhood?
Growing up in my childhood, there was kind of like 2 different stages. It was the first stage, it was me and my parents, my siblings, we were all like together, a happy family. And then there was kind of like a curveball going halfway through there. When I was in 6th grade, my parents decided to get a divorce. And so that was a little hard. I had to be like the big brother for my younger siblings because they were all, they were going through the motions also. And then we were sheltered, like you mentioned. And so going from a sheltered homeschooled kid to public school, which is where my parents sent us after that, it was a really big shock because kids would like ask us all the time in the hallway, like, do you know what this is? Or they would try to get us to say a cuss word because we didn't know it was a cuss word. And so it was kind of like, not bullying to a sense, it was just like, these kids are different type deal, and they were just trying to figure out how we were, and we were trying to figure out how they were.
Absolutely. I went to public school too, and they all knew I was a pastor's kid. There's something about public schools, the kids love to steal the innocence of other kids, and it almost makes them feel better about themselves when they see the good kids start to act more like them. And so then, David, as you started to grow up, you told me that there was this God-sized hole in your heart that you started trying to fill with other things. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so my relationship with God throughout my entire childhood, I was trying to develop my own relationship. My dad would always tell us, like, don't make your relationship with God my relationship, make it your own relationship. Right. And so in doing that, I would get God to like a certain level, and then I'd find a girl, I'd have a crush on her, try to get closer with her, and then she would like build up to the same level as I had with God, and then God would take a decrease and the girl would take an increase. And so doing that just on repeat, and then whenever the girl would go away, I'd be like, now I have nobody, build myself back up with God. And so just repeating that, and then I came to a point where it was just like an all-time low where I was like, what is going on? Why is there this hole? I need to fill this hole with something and not let it get empty again. And so going through with my pastor at the time, him just helping me going through and making Jesus, making God my center.
So David, as you started to go on, you realized you needed that wake-up call. You decided to make a shift in your life, and you went to Dream City College. Tell us about that.
Right, yeah. So my entire growing up throughout high school, I get asked the question, what am I going to do after high school? I didn't really know, and so I did what my family all pretty much did was I went to the military. After I had finished with the military, I was working in the secular world, and it was fun. I was working as a brand representative at a company called Hollister, and then I was selling shoes as a sales lead at another store. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was good pay, but like I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was making a difference in the world, and it was just really like what do I get out of this? Like, what am I doing? And so I knew Josh growing up, and so I called Josh, the director of Dream City College, and after talking with him, I decided to come out here, move here, and since being here, it's been a real big, like, I feel fulfilled. I feel like I know what my purpose is. I feel I know where my life is going, and I know that I want to be here, and I know this is a good place.
That's so amazing. So it's amazing to see how you can be raised, sheltered, get out in the world, realize it doesn't bring you hope, it doesn't bring you happiness, and then you go back to the church with a newfound excitement for God. And I love seeing all that you're doing in the church. We see you around all the time. What do you do on staff here?
So here I'm on security.
Yeah.
I do part-time here, and then I also am very heavily involved with the youth ministry. I kind of go back and forth with the campuses, but I just love it because I'm here on security. I get to help with behind the scenes. I really love being behind the scenes, not so much being the center of attention. And so,
well, you're welcome. You're here on the show today.
Yeah. And so really helping out behind the scenes, like I let you in the door all the time. It's great conversation. And then with the youth ministry, I just really feel like trying to make sure the kids that are in the youth ministry aren't getting put out on the spot with their innocence and all that the same way that I was.
Right. You can use your past to now protect these youth students.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that you're equipping them. I'm so proud of you and all of our Dream City College students. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, Dream City College has kids from many different walks of life come through their doors. And not only are they finding their mission in life, but they're inspiring hope now into the next generation in different groups at Dream City Church. If you want to pursue education and also find your calling in life, go to dreamcitycollege.com to learn how you can get involved.